What if Canada has its own version of Area 51? Hidden deep within the frozen Arctic, far from major cities and public scrutiny, lies a network of military installations built during the Cold War. Radar stations, secret defense projects, reports of strange objects in the sky, and decades of government secrecy that fueled countless theories. Some believe these bases were simply part of North America's defense system. Others claim they were hiding something far more extraordinary. Because buried beneath the ice and isolation of Canada's north is a mystery that refuses to disappear. Were these facilities merely watching the skies? Or were they watching something else entirely? Before we dive deeply, kindly subscribe to my page, follow, like, and share for more hidden history, untold stories, and fascinating historical mysteries. When most people think of the Cold War, they imagine Berlin, Washington, Moscow, and nuclear missiles. Few think about the Canadian Arctic. Yet during the Cold War, Canada's northern wilderness became one of the most strategically important regions on Earth. Military planners feared a devastating reality. If the Soviet Union launched an attack against North America, the shortest route would be over the Arctic. That meant Canada sat directly between two superpowers. Suddenly, remote wilderness became a front line, and governments began building. During the 1950s, a massive project emerged, a chain of radar stations stretching across the Arctic. Known collectively as the Distant Early Warning Line, or DW Line, these installations formed a giant electronic shield. Their purpose was simple: detect incoming Soviet bombers before they reached North American cities. But constructing the network was anything but simple. Equipment had to be transported across some of the harshest terrain on Earth. Workers battled extreme cold, isolation, darkness, and unpredictable weather. The result was one of the largest military engineering projects in Arctic history. Then came the rumors. Some workers reported unusual sightings, bright lights, objects moving in ways conventional aircraft could not, strange radar returns that seemed impossible to explain. Soon, a shocking claim began spreading. What if these remote stations were tracking more than Soviet aircraft? What if military personnel had encountered unidentified objects entering North American airspace? The claim captured public imagination, especially because so much of the Arctic defense system remained classified. And secrecy always creates speculation. Imagine spending months at an isolated Arctic station. No major cities, no crowds, no normal routines. Only snow, ice, and endless horizons. Personnel stationed at these bases often describe the experience as surreal. The environment itself could affect perception. Long periods of darkness, extreme weather, isolation. These conditions sometimes produced unusual observations. And unusual observations often became extraordinary stories. Throughout the Cold War, reports of unidentified aerial phenomena appeared across North America. Canada was no exception. Pilots reported strange lights. Radar operators tracked unusual targets. Citizens described mysterious objects moving across northern skies. Most reports eventually received conventional explanations. Weather phenomena, astronomical objects, aircraft misidentifications, equipment errors. Yet some incidents remained unresolved, and those unresolved cases became fertile ground for speculation. Then researchers uncovered government records. Documents revealed that officials took certain sightings seriously. Investigations were conducted. Reports were archived. Military personnel sometimes attempted to identify unknown objects. For conspiracy theorists, this was proof of a cover-up. For historians, it demonstrated something more practical. Governments investigate unknown objects because uncertainty itself can represent a security concern, especially during periods of international tension. The Arctic was strategically critical during the Cold War. The DW line and related facilities were real. Many operations remained classified for security reasons. Radar systems occasionally detected unidentified targets. However, unidentified does not necessarily mean extraterrestrial. Most historians view these incidents through the lens of military intelligence and Cold War anxiety. The focus was defense, detection, preparedness, not necessarily alien technology. Yet not every question has been answered. Military installations restricted access. Classified documents remained hidden for years. Personnel often signed confidentiality agreements. For some observers, the secrecy itself became evidence. They argued governments must have been hiding something extraordinary. But critics of the theory point out an important fact. Military organizations routinely classify information, especially during global tensions. The challenge is determining where legitimate security ends and speculation begins. Now we arrive at the most controversial aspect of the story. Some researchers argue that public fascination with UFOs overshadowed a more important reality. The true secret wasn't alien visitors. It was how vulnerable North America felt during the Cold War. The radar stations represented fear. Fear of surprise attacks. Fear of nuclear war. Fear of technological inferiority. In this interpretation, the mystery reflects human anxiety more than hidden spacecraft. But not everyone agrees. Several Arctic sightings remain subjects of debate. Witnesses described unusual movements, unexpected radar signatures, objects appearing and disappearing. Researchers continue reviewing historical records. Skeptics argue incomplete data prevents firm conclusions. Believers argue unexplained cases deserve further investigation. The debate remains unresolved. And unresolved mysteries tend to survive. The more historians investigated Canada's supposed Area 51, the more complicated the story became. There was no single secret base. No confirmed alien facility. No smoking gun proving extraordinary claims. Instead, the mystery emerged from a combination of real military secrecy, genuine unidentified sightings, classified Cold War projects, and public imagination. In other words, the legend became larger than any individual location. The myth itself became the story. Many original Cold War installations have been modernized, abandoned, or replaced. Technology has advanced dramatically. Satellites now perform tasks once handled by remote radar stations. Yet the Arctic remains strategically important. Nations continue monitoring the region. Military interest continues. And new geopolitical rivalries are emerging. The North remains a place where history and security intersect. Today, stories about secret Arctic bases continue attracting attention. Documentaries, podcasts, internet forums. Each generation discovers the mystery anew. Some focus on UFO reports. Others examine military history. Many simply enjoy the possibility that secrets remain hidden beneath the Arctic ice. And perhaps that is why the story endures. Because mysteries invite imagination. For decades, radar stations watched the northern skies. Personnel tracked unknown objects. Governments collected reports. Documents disappeared into archives. And rumors spread across generations. Most explanations appear ordinary. Some remain uncertain. But one question continues haunting researchers. Among the thousands of Cold War records, radar logs, and classified reports still hidden away, could there be one file that changes everything? One document revealing what operators truly saw in the Arctic sky? Until every record is examined and every secret is revealed, Canada's Area 51 remains exactly what it has always been. A mystery frozen in the north, waiting for someone to uncover the truth. Please don't forget to subscribe to my page, follow, like, and share for more hidden history, untold stories, and fascinating historical mysteries.